There is an interesting little thematic connection in the show Andor and the movie Rogue One, that both involve Cassian Andor and a sunset on a beach. The first scene I'd like to direct your attention to is one of the final scenes of Rogue One, when Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor are both wounded and sitting on a beach on the planet Scarif, watching as their inescapable death quickly approaches. They've both accepted their fate and patiently wait for it, content that they finished their mission of beaming the Death Star planes to the Alliance. Cassian turns to Jyn and tells her that her father would be proud of her. Her father, who was coerced into building the firing mechanism of the Death Star and secretly installed a weakness into the machine so that it could be easily destroyed. Jyn was never completely devoted to the cause of taking down the Empire, but over the span of their mission, she became the spearhead of the operation and led the charge to steal the Death Star plans. She decided to actually choose to side openly with the Alliance and take down the Empire. Now, the second scene I'd like to bring your attention to happened in the 11th episode of Andor, which took place 5 years before the first scene. Cassian Andor just escaped the Imperial prison on Narkina 5 and escaped to the planet Niamos. While there, Cassian used the Star Wars version of a payphone to call his friend back home. On the call, he asked his friend to deliver a message to his mother, saying to tell his mother that she'd be proud of him. Unfortunately, Cassian's friend would not be able to deliver that message as she just recently passed away from old age. Cassian was saddened from the news and stared off into the sunset. The immediate connection here is that Cassian told his friend that his mother would be proud of him, and then, 5 years later, told Jyn that her father would be proud of her, both times being next to a beach and staring at a sunset, or in the case of Rogue One, a sunset and a giant laser blowing up the planet. Looking a bit deeper though, these two scenes highlight a similarity between Cassian and Jyn. Both of them, before joining the rebellion, were loners and vagabonds. They had no love for the Empire, but really had no other true allegiances to anything and didn't stick to any occupation. True, after Jyn was separated from her parents, she grew up protected by Saw Gerrera, but she wasn't part of the rebellion proper. Cassian and Jyn both changed though. They both went through their trials and came out of them ready to stand openly alongside the rebellion and defiantly against the Empire. This is why their parents would be proud of them. Cassian's mother was very anti-Empire, and so Cassian had felt ready to stand against them, and that his mother would be proud to hear it. Similarly, Jyn had sacrificed herself to take down the Death Star after previously being the type of person to keep her head down and avoid the grander fight. Her father would have been proud too, as despite her father's work on the Death Star, he did not care for the Empire at all and secretly rebelled against them in his own way. Framing it in this way, the similarities between the two are much more clear, and it recontextualizes their differences in the movie. I can only imagine now what Cassian was thinking when he was dealing with an apathetic Jyn. Probably something like, oh my gosh, is this what I used to be like, or is this what my mother had to put up with? I loved this connection, and while I'm sure I'm not the first person to see this, I still want to geek out about it and share my thoughts on it. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching.